Cool. Well, hi everyone. Welcome to another Grafana community call. We are the Observability Experience Squad, and we wanted to, show you a bit about what we've been doing lately, and open up more conversations around it, basically. So this is the form of our squad, basically. So I am the engineering manager for this team. Jay is our PM. Some of you might have heard about him. If not, go ping him on all the socials. We have Laura, who's actually a new joiner in the team. She's been here 1 month today. Congratulations. Christina, who joined us a few months ago, and she's been doing great. Gio and Piotr, they're the veterans of this team. They've been around for over a year. And Porek, I can assure you, he is not our janitor. He is the product designer that we're working very closely with right now, basically.
I love how people being here for 1 year makes them a veteran. At this
Yes,
point, we're growing so fast. It's like two weeks is enough to be considered a veteran by this.
exactly. Yeah. So we wanted to start off by talking about our mission, because this is something we're very passionate about. So we are here to create tools through collaboration and innovation for software engineers, DevOps, and SREs, so they can correlate and inspect their data in order to respond efficiently to business and technical challenges. But I'd say even more importantly than this, we actually have an internal mission as well, which I really wanted to share with you all. So we actually, again, we want to create a healthy work environment for our squad members in order to make them successful and enjoy their work by collaborating and having fun. Why this is important is because we all wake up, in the morning to work with an amazing group of people to do some fun work, but most of all, to continue the Grafana culture and values basically every day. So in terms of what our team does, Grafana is well known for its dashboards. So why did we invest in Explore? So for those of you that haven't seen Explore, please go to Grafana. There's an icon on the left-hand side navigation, as you can see on in the screen. So one of the major things that we're responsible for is Explore. Grafana is actually focused on observability. And Explore is all about searching, investigating, and exploring your data, basically. Explore is a great starting point into getting to know your data, but also a great place to dive into the nitty-gritty when you get paged at midnight, for example. But also a great avenue for adding more panels to your dashboards. So that's basically what we call search, share, and save. Um, we, in general, serve a breadth of personas, like I mentioned earlier. So software engineers, SREs, DevOps, incident responders, triagers, infrastructure platform engineering, and whatever else you can think of. But in general, to summarize all that, Explore helps you understand your data through deep dives and also correlation. And you'll hear more about it throughout this talk. So I'll pass on to Christina now.
Yeah, hi, I'm Christina, and I'm going to be talking about what's new in Grafana 9. I'm going to be doing this with a quick demo here. So one of the new things that we're introducing in Grafana 9 is something called the command palette. You might be familiar with the command palette in other applications. We have it mapped to the Command K or Control K on Windows. So you hit that, and it comes up with a little box with some navigation options here. One of the things is you can go to search like you normally could, but you can also search just in the command palette directly, and you can go to a dashboard just like that. Along with that, you can go to Explore, and in Explore, you can do some of the features that you might be familiar with, all without having to use your mouse at all. So you can split. I'm going to go through and add some series here to these. You can then go up and close them. And then you can run query. If you want to keep hitting it, you can just keep running that query over and over again without having to touch your mouse at all. So yeah, from that segues into the next thing that we're adding in Grafana 9 is the Add to Dashboard button. So if you've built a nice panel here, or you've done a query and you really like what you're doing and you want to have it be part of a dashboard, you can click this. You can either add it to a new dashboard or an existing dashboard. So I'm going to add it to a new one. Open it in a new tab here. Oops. Well, I'm just going to shout it because I'm very excited about this feature. Hit save. And now this dashboard just shows up like you normally would. So with that, going back to the Explore page here, I'm going to go and add a whole bunch of these. Hit this button again, and then go to an existing dashboard. There we are. And you can just keep adding new panels to the dashboard, just kind of as you're exploring, if you find something that you'd want to save. So all of that will be released in Grafana 9. Stay tuned for that. Sorry, I'm getting lost here. There you go. I found it.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. So I will talk about query history migration. This is still work in progress, but we are also targeting Grafana 9. So query history is a panel in Explore that keeps tracks of all queries that are run in Explore. And so far, all the entries were stored in browser local storage. And now we are migrating all entries to backend database. This will happen behind the scenes when query history is opened. And why are we doing this? So local storage has some size limitations. The storage is shared among other settings, and it's also not possible to see the same query history if you're using multiple browsers. So after the migration, we will not have these limitations. And what is more, it will also enable us to work on further improvements like sharing query history with other users. So that's it for Grafana 9. What's next? Our main focus in upcoming weeks and months are, like, broadly speaking, observability workflows. What it means, it covers features that improve working between dashboards and Explore, and also querying data in multiple data sources. So for example, here's an example of such flow, which is like incident management. When someone gets paged with an alert, goes to a dashboard, then from the dashboard, it goes to Explore page and starts investigating the issue, switching frequently between metrics, logs, and traces. And our goal is to make such workflows as smooth as possible. We already have a few features that can help in such cases, like data links and features like logs to traces, and also query translation used when you switch data source. But we want to make it even better. So what else? What are other ideas on our radar? It's mixed data sources that you may know from dashboards. In Explore, you can only use one data source, and we want to allow using multiple data sources within a single Explore page. Multiple panels views in Explore. The split view that we currently have allows you to see only two panels at the same time. We're thinking about adding more than that. Also showing annotations in Explore visualizations. Something I mentioned before, shared query history. So the query history that we have that allow also to share it with other users. Query Scratchpad, which is an idea that would allow easily copy and paste queries between Explore, dashboard, and also alerts. Customizable visualizations, so graphs, maybe even log panel, trace view to add a bit more customizations to it. Or maybe even Explore specific plugins. At the moment, it's really hard to write third-party plugins that would extend Explore. It would be great to have this the same way we have for visualizations and data sources. And we are open to suggestions. So if you have any ideas how Explore could make your life easier, yeah, please reach out to us on GitHub discussions. You can find the link here, or just go to our GitHub and discussion tab.
So one last thing, a couple team members will be presenting in an upcoming free online conference in mid-June. Gio will be presenting alongside Ivana and Torkel about Grafana 9, focusing on some of the things that we talked about today. And a bit later that day, I'll be talking about an IoT project that uses a Bluetooth scale to get body composition metrics into Grafana. So feel free to check out the schedule to see if there's anything else that would be relevant to your work. And then Q&A. I'm guessing that unless anybody has any questions intra the team.
Oh, I actually have a few questions. Really cool stuff. There was some stuff in there that I actually had no idea about. For example, the query scratch pad. I'm kind of curious about. You kind of brushed over it a little bit, but what is it? Could you
Yeah,
dive
that
in
came.
deeper a little bit?
Yeah, that came up with the feature that we worked on, going from dashboards to Explore. Torkel had this idea that we, instead of having like very specific workflow dashboard to Explore, what if we wanted to go anywhere? Because the query that you run in Explore, you can run in dashboards, but also in alerts. So the idea is to have some sort of like um, like a panel or something that you could drag your query to like save them for later. So you can, or click somewhere just to have them in your clipboard. So you have multiple queries that you are interested in, keep them like in the pocket, that it's always with you. Then you go to different places of Grafana, like you go to a dashboard or specific panel, and then you can take the query that you just saved like temporarily, but you may be interested in, okay, putting it inside the dashboard or inside the alert. So that should improve, because I know that now people often like, okay, just copy paste. Okay, they need to, they find something in Explore. It's easy to add it to dashboards with Explore to dashboard, but people still sometimes just copy paste entire query and move it somewhere else. Though it's not easy with all editors, because they're like we build visual editors with buttons with a lot of input, so it's not super easy just to copy the query. And now with this, it should be possible and much easier.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, I do it as well. I copy paste from Explore, and then I go to an actual dashboard. So I'm personally super happy about the add to dashboard feature. I've been waiting for that for a long time. It's
Awesome.
super easy to go from the dashboard to Explore, but now that we have the add to dashboard, I think that's gonna complete that workflow really nicely. And yeah, the scratch pad, it sounds like, yeah, for sure, like some form of workbench, like that you can. I don't know if you've thought about like sliding it out from the side, and then you can just like add it, or if you have like an actual query editor in the scratch pad, so that you can edit it on the fly, and then you
Oh,
can.
that's interesting idea. I think we haven't thought about like editing them inside this, but that's actually a cool idea.
Yeah. Well, potential. And you also mentioned customizable visualizations. Maybe you mentioned it, but does this mean that we'll be able to use like custom panel plugins in Explore in the future?
Not yet, but probably. So at the moment in Explore, you have, for example, graph visualization, which is very simple. You can only change it to like bars or table. Like there's very simple switch. So you don't have all the options that are available in dashboards where you can customize everything. And it's mainly because Explore is more for ad hoc investigation. So yeah,
Right.
it doesn't really persist visualization, but still it would be useful to tweak it, especially now when you can go from Explore to dashboard and already have all the options set up. But yeah, in the future, maybe we could also even change, because at the moment it's basically time series graph that it's for metrics, but maybe we could allow different plugins to be used to visualize data. But
Yeah, I know there are use cases. For example, if you're exploring the humidity in a room, for example, and you want to see what different sensor picked up, for example, you might actually want to use a more specific visualization. But you're still in that mode of exploring, and you're just throwing queries around, and you're not actually building a dashboard. But so yeah, I totally get what you're saying, that we've been focused on time series, and just a table works well for a lot of cases, but I can definitely see the use case for more custom visualizations as well. But
yeah, and now with yeah, please go ahead.
sorry, go on.
Yeah, and now with like explore to dashboard, I think it's gonna be way more useful because it's yeah, you will be able to persist all the options from explore inside the dashboard.
So I have to ask then, like, do you see a potential? It sounds like there's a potential for Explorer to kind of get closer to the dashboard feature, and maybe that dashboard feature comes closer to an Explorer. Uh, like further down the road, what is like the one defining difference between the dashboard and the Explorer? Like if you would have to choose like one thing that like this is only possible with Explorer, and this is only when you should use it with a dashboard, for example. Do you have a
So
case like that?
we are having such conversation internally. The dashboards are also getting like more generic, and you can do more
Right.
stuff. And I guess in long term, in future, the dashboard will be so flexible that you could even create explore page with some more customizations around it. But we still want to focus on like ad hoc workflows and like incident management. What explore gives you that you don't have in dashboards. There are some panels that are not, some visualizations that are not available in dashboards. Like logs panel has way more features because you have more space
Right.
to actually play with it. And trace view, it also has like a lot of details in it, and
Yeah.
it's available only in Explore. It doesn't make that much sense in dashboards. So it's just targeting slightly different point of view, but yeah, I can imagine that both can be used and should be used more or less at the same time, and there should be like smooth transition between both. So because we also noticed that some people, okay, they use dashboards as explore because okay, you can customize visualizations, right? And we don't have these features in explore now. If you had them, yeah, you would probably be more encouraged to use explore, and we want people to use both as first class citizens in Grafana.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of using the panel editor as Explorer. But mostly, you know, it is really quick to work with, and you have access to custom visualizations. But yeah, so I had one more question for Christina. I'm personally a big fan of command panels. I love it. Every site I join or sign up for, immediately I try the command Q or command K. I mean, it's such a game changer. But I was curious, like what led up to implementing it in Grafana? Was there a issue on GitHub that was like getting a tons of thumbs up, or like what was the process? Because it's not like a necessarily a core like a feature like query history, or you know, could you talk us through about like what was the process of getting it into Grafana?
Yeah, you'll have to excuse my ignorance a little bit on this because I just started in February. But as far as I know, it started as a hackathon project, like not this latest hackathon, but the one before it. And yeah, so what the genesis was before that, I guess I don't really know. But it started as a hackathon project, and that hackathon team did a really, really good job of creating a very thorough implementation over that week. And kind of as we're running up to implement it for in real life, or being a little bit more conservative about that implementation of just putting it in a little bit at a time, making sure, because there's a ton of different people using Grafana in their own way. We want to make sure we're not breaking anything for them. So right now we just have it in like there's the global commands, and then there's some in Explore, and we're just going to be encouraging teams to grow it in the way that makes sense for them. But yeah, hopefully that kind of answers your question. Maybe Mihaela knows before that, but I don't, unfortunately.
No, it totally does. So it's a hackathon project that kind of went straight into Grafana, which is really cool to see. Do you have I don't know if you can say it. Do you have any other hackathon projects that are coming up, heading into Explore?
Annotations in Explore, that was also a hackathon project.
Annotations?
Annotations in Explore, yeah.
Oh, very
At
nice.
the moment, there is no way to show annotations on the visualizations because they have different editor, so slightly different flow. But this is also something that was a hackathon project. And
Very nice.
interestingly enough, the common palette was some other Steam hackathon project. And it didn't win the hackathon, but everyone was like, "Oh, this is such a cool feature that we should have had this like long time ago. Why it's not in Grafana?" So yeah, a lot of people were excited about this, and that's why we decided to work on this.
Very cool. So I'm obviously I work a lot with plugins, so I have to ask: is it possible for plugins to add items to the global or the like the command handler
Not
or the
yet.
command panel? Okay,
Yep, not
you
at this
can like
time.
hook into it.
Nope, not yet, but that is a place that we want to grow it to.
Very cool.
And I think there was even a hackathon project around this as well.
There's a hackathon project for
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Even and if you're watching this, you should totally go and Google for the Doom project, running Doom inside Grafana. That is amazing. It's such a interesting way of using Grafana. I had a conversation with a friend earlier this week about using Grafana for as an like an equalizer. Now that we have streaming data, we can actually use it for like as a streaming data into it, and we can have like equalizers and moving data in real time, and it really, we're starting to see so many different use cases that just weren't possible in the last paradigm of Grafana. So yeah, really excited to see all these projects that keep popping into Grafana itself.
That reminds me about another feature that we have in Explore and you don't have in dashboards, like live logs. You can actually press the live button and see logs
Oh
being
yeah, and they
shown.
like
They're
keep
streamed. Yeah.
they're flying by.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took me a while before I found it actually, but it's a really cool feature. It's like a tail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to circle back to your question about the process of getting this in from Hackathon Project. I mean, we have some fairly robust forums for reviewing, and Christina was really proactive in bringing the design. And a Hackathon project is one thing. Gathering requirements and feedback and building out the design was a big part of the process here. We're not in the business of just throwing stuff out from
Yeah, it wasn't just merged straight as it was. No,
Right.
no. So we're actually professionals here, and there was a
Whoa,
process to this.
whoa! I won't go as far as
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Yeah, we're definitely doing this for the fun of it as well. But yeah, very cool to see what you've all been working on. Is there anything else that popped up during the discussion that you want to share?
So Piotr has already mentioned about our discussions being open at all times. We've recently restructured, so we actually have, a lot of focus on Explore right now. So we would very much welcome ideas, but also because we have a million ideas already, we do have to prioritize, but we always welcome contributions, right? We're an open source project at our core. So we're constantly looking at open PR. So we'd like to invite everyone to also contribute, not just to ideas, but to actually implementing those ideas.
So what is the best way to get in touch with the Explore team? If I have an idea for how to improve Explore, do I just open an issue on GitHub and tag you all, or?
I can
Just
do a
open a
live
discussion. Oh, go ahead, Christina.
Yeah, let's do
Gracious crumb catcher.
yeah, you get to see my that's my little start tab thing. But yeah, so
Nice.
in the Grafana project, if you just there's this discussions tab here, and then especially under the observability tracing category, this is where new feature requests go, and then we prioritize based on upvotes, emoji reacts, whatever. So this is a good place to go for new features.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
Cool. Is there anything else?
I think that we are Good. I think we can start wrapping this up. It's been great having you with us for this month's community call. So this is something that we do every month, where we invite a squad within the Grafana team to share a little bit about what they're working on and what you can expect in future versions of Grafana. And if there's anything that you would like to hear more about, that you're curious to hear from the teams themselves, reach out to us. You can reach out to us on the Grafana Slack or on the Grafana forum, or as we've seen in the GitHub discussions as well. So yeah, I'll see you next month. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.